So yeah, some interesting stuff I noticed about frequencies of the brain and some things that I'm noticing that's happening to myself, and I'm just want to kind of like take notes on an experiment. A lot of this stuff didn't happen overnight; it just happened slowly over time in a period of. You want to add that to the, well, not conductive, but you know what I'm saying. It's natural. This stuff here is. There are natural forms, I'd imagine, but the way that they are formulated and readily available, they have a lot of unbioavailable iron and parts in it that make you become magnetic, kind of like food has been super induced with all of these heavy metals. A lot of the cheap, drier foods have this problem. So, what I found out about a lot of these crystals, I just put crystals in general. I've seen a lot of the quartzes are the more raw, more natural looking crystals. A lot of them are deceptive because a lot of them are man-made and full of different colors that are put into it. I heard a lot of them are oxidized, with machines, and a lot of these rock stores just have a lot of these. They just create a business out of it, kind of like you oxidize a tomato with radiation. They say to make it turn red. A lot of that's probably fear campaigning. I've never yet to find a radioactive tomato anywhere. Anyways, so I've noticed that over time I went from not understanding grounding or copper sandals to like really understanding it, because I started to introduce a lot of copper. Then I started to introduce a lot of silver, and then I started noticing things about my beliefs and just things that I knew, and just things about ego and how ego is really just a human trait that everyone has, and the only way it could be used against you is if you don't realize that you actually have an ego to be used against you. And then when you have an ego being used against you, you can't receive new information, and when you can't receive new information, there you have it. So I mean, everybody's got an ego. I mean, any living species wants to flap their wings and be like, look at me, I got the biggest wing. And the females just sit back and they're just like, oh, he's got the biggest wings, I see. And it's really primitive in its nature, but you understand. Ah, look at me making all the noise. I mean, any living being that just steps into a domain and says, hey, I look like I'm the only one here. Well, this is mine. And then someone else will come along and this person will get offended. If you're there for like 3 years, you're going to be like, fuck, what the fuck are you doing here in my territory? So it's just, ego is an inescapable trait that all humans have. And to not know this is how to have it easily used against you. You can't understand that everyone has arrogance. Everyone's an egomaniac to some degree. All right, so that's what I'm saying. The more higher the frequency, the more you start to notice about yourself and people around you. And it's really kind of hard to so it's bittersweet. So you're kind of like, everything kind of sucks. But at least you learn more about putting two and two together. So now I'm starting to realize that this, and this is going to do something. Well, I put this in my water so I can absorb the elements, because to me, crystals seem to be quite imaginary unless you can't really absorb any type of current like I would get from sun gazing. Sun gazing makes me believe and understand that if I ingest this in my water system, then I will bring in a higher frequency, because these particles will be inside of my body. So that means that once this charges up these, then it's going to be like bing. And that, in essence, is a really simple experiment, explanation, and understanding in stereo instructions how one person can go from just a normal person and raise their frequency. If you have this type of diet and you do this, it will only go so far, because you need all of this. You need the conductivity. If we look at charts of what is most conductive, you will see silver, copper, gold, and all that stuff is higher. And I wouldn't even go for putting anything that's less pure than 99.99% because gold is not pure. Gold would be monogram gold or in its purest form. Copper ore, silver ore, monogram gold ore would be gold in its purest form. Gold has been watered down, so gold would be full of so many different chemicals and metals that you would not be able to have a pure, without some type of deceptive sabotage to your conductivity. You want the shit to be pure as fuck. You want to keep it pure. So that's what I'm focusing on. This brass, wood, eating off of wooden bowls, because plastics are also something, to my understanding now, that I have received a higher frequency because I sun gaze and I take in the right metals. Now I'm starting to realize, well, shit. I mean, I'm just an artist. I'm not an electrician. I'm just a guy that likes to doodle and draw and bust dope rhymes and do all kinds of cool art shit. That's about it. That's what my mind is geared towards. But I can see a lot more other things. I have special understandings and insight and able to put a lot of things together because of this and this. Once I removed a lot of plastics, I started getting wood and things. I've noticed that with this, coming into this to absorb these particles will make them more conductive because you're taking in less this too. So you need less plastic as well. Because the idea is to bring that shit up to like, you want to be like, motherfucker, Super Saiyan. And that's what you want to do. You want to be super conductive and you want to put all the particles inside your body. So most likely, if you absorb this in your water jugs and carafes, silver and copper, if you don't know how to charge this, then you would have to ingest it. Microscopic minerals, particles into the body via water system. Something kind of like this is what I have. Got the big jug, you know what I'm saying? And you got the little dispenser. And that's how I drink my water. And inside you'll see all kinds of little different precious metals, silver, shit like that. And then the water comes into it and then I drink it up. So with that into the body would make it more conductive and losing more plastics, which leach into the food, which make your food conductive retarded because plastic conceals. See what I'm saying? I'm not an electrician. See how I'm figuring this shit out? So you got plastic and rubber on your cords that make a resistance. And it can't get the electricity out. You can't get electrocuted. Nor can you have conductivity as much when you're ingesting plastics. So, other than getting cancer, which I would imagine would be it would be like collateral damage. But the main point is to keep you at a low frequency right here. Just kind of like not really knowing about anything. Just kind of clocking in, clocking out, paying your taxes, paying your bills. That's it. Just normal existence. Wake up. I'm good to just be a worker. I'm cool. What do you mean I have an inheritance? Nah, it's all good. I'm good. I'm in my comfort zone. But as soon as you start doing this more and you don't have as much of this and you get more of this, you're just slowly just bing, son. Bing, son. And that's what you want to do. You want to progress up until that motherfucker is like lit. You just want to be fucking lit. And that is in a layman term of understanding how a conduit can become more conductive and the chakras. Let me go ahead and speak on that for a second. Because just like the sun is said to be a flat disk of all things, it's said the moon to be a flat disk, and it's said that the earth is a flat disk, and chakras are a flat disk, and the stars, to my surprise, beyond the firmament, which I've seen with a telescope, you can check out my page, you will see it right now. The stars that are not fixed to the outer shell are flat disk. So inside the firmament, you'll see water rolling over them. Flat disk, The sun's a flat disc. The chakra alignments are flat discs. When the chakras come out, it is like a soul. Let me show you. You can see them in your pictures. Okay, so yeah, your chakra alignment, when it comes out of the body, if you watch the rat video on YouTube, you'll see the soul come out. They actually leave the limbs of the body, something I'm now starting to understand. Your hands and your body becomes cold, and the last place it goes to is the heart, and it leaves the heart and the whole body dies. Once all of these alignments become one, they come out. That is the complete form of consciousness in one orb. People say that those are prisons. They say blood over intent will actually remove the chakra, which is bullshit, because you die and your chakra comes out. There's no way that these motherfuckers are prisons unless the government reached inside of your body when you were in a fucking womb and put an alignment inside of your mom, which is fucking ridiculous. So that's not possible. And blood over intent is, you know, it's for the blood. Imagine it being more of a claim on your blood than anything. Raising your frequency is probably something that's most likely to happen because of the DNA in your blood. So that can also be potentially a way to raise the frequency. But they're not prisons at all. People think that they're prisons, but they're not. It's part of your life. When you die, they come out. Another example. I got this random picture off of Facebook, and you can see clear as day someone's chakra alignment has come out and it's still around. I mean, imagine that. And it turns into the heart, shoots out of the body. There you have it, man. Proof's in the pudding. You see these in all your pictures, your photos, videos, floating around. They're there. I mean, it's legit. It's real. So, all right. So, once I realized that was real, I understood what Jesus Christ's fiery heart was when I stared into the sun and my heart chakra went off. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? Jesus Christ must be the sun because I got fiery heart. It was just obvious. It was just like, man, you instantly put two and two together. This sun shit is no joke. It allows you to see. So, with that being said, like I said before, it's not a prison. You want to be at a high frequency. You want to charge them up. And when I walk outside, I feel them light up. Like literally my whole back just goes whenever I walk outside, because I don't put fluoride on my hair and I don't put it on my skin. And I'm really sensitive to these currents. So, recap. Boom. No heavy metals. You're less conductive. That shit sucks. You can't even think clearly. Your erectile dysfunction, all that, because of that. Because your blood flow sucks and it's full of heavy metal. This shit here, you the man. Believe me. Silver, copper, quartz, brass, anything like that. Silver works quicker. That's why they call it quicksilver. That's not actually what quicksilver is. For any of the fucking trolls out there that want to come back and say, that's not what quicksilver is. No, I'm saying as in relative in namesake, quicksilver would be as in to refer that silver has a quicker turnaround than all the other metals. All right, so soon, if I continue this path and just continue to take silver and copper in my water and quartz, I will take quartz particles, I will take silver particles, I will take copper particles, and I will have a sun in front of me, and that motherfucker is going to send these motherfuckers straight out. I'm going to be lit. Super Saiyan lit. And that's how it works. That's that frequency game right there. In a nutshell, baby. Stay awake.